Hello. Namaskar and a very good evening to all the viewers watching NCRT's live interactive program. I'm Simran Singh and you have all connected with us through eVidya channel number 6 to 12. Besides this, there are so many different mediums through which you can all connect with us. You can participate in our live conversations by raising your queries and your questions in the comment section of our YouTube channel that goes by the name NCRT Official. And viewers, it's around 4 p.m. on your watch. So once again, a very warm welcome to all our learners, all the audiences, along with our experts for the session in this 5 days, 5 hours online training program, which is titled as Cyber Clubs. So we started out our training program yesterday, that is on 4th of March, and it was the first day of our online training program on cyber clubs, where we discussed about cyber clubs, the concept, need and scope. And today the content of discussion will revolve around activities on technical aspects of cyber safety. So we all know that we are all using digital space in one or the other way. So it is very important to know and understand what are the positive impacts, what are the negative impacts, and yes, of course, there are certain negative impacts, how to overcome them and how to make a judicious use of technology, especially while you are in the cyberspace. So we are conducting this online training program for everyone, especially for our students, teachers, parents. So you can be more aware, you can be cyber surakshit. So viewers, let me also apprise you that in the conversation, if you have any of the questions, any queries, so feel free to give us a call at this contact number that is flashing on your screens. It is 8800440559. Besides this, you can always reach out to us through this particular mail ID flashing on your screens. Well, we have two mail IDs and one of them is cybersafety@cret.nic.in and the second one is training.helpdesk@cret.nic.in. We request all your questions, all your responses on this particular mail ID, that is training.helpdesk@cret.nic.in. So let us quickly have a look at our computer screens in order to understand more about this training program. So here you can see that this is the web page, this is the website of CIET, which goes by the name ciet.ncrt.gov.in. So there are certain options laid down for all of you. Just click on activities. Under activities, we can see it is workshop/training. So let us scroll down and under current activity, we see this is online training on cyber clubs. Once you click here, all the details are mentioned for all of you with the days, the dates, and then the different topics that we are going to cover and what we have covered so far. Now, this particular information is with regard to our post-session activity, that is also the quiz. So, whether it's the students, teachers, teacher educators, parents, administrators, general public, etc., you can all connect with us for the quiz. This is a detailed program schedule where we will be soon uploading the presentation links along with the banners, and of course, we are trying our best to upload the videos as soon as possible. So, viewers, how to participate in the post-session activity? There are certain steps laid down for all of you. So the first one is registration. You have to register yourself by clicking on this link or either by scanning this QR code. Then the second step would be watching live training sessions. So here you can see that you can watch the live training programs from 4 till 8th of March at 4 till 5 p.m. either on NCRT Official or PME with their channel 6 to 12, or the different mediums are also highlighted by you. Then step number 3 says participation in the post-session activity and certification. So I am delighted to inform you that if you participate in the post-session quiz and if you score 70% and above, so you will receive a certificate by CIET NCRT. So viewers, the assessment link will be here. It will be uploaded on 8th of March when we are going to conclude our training program. Closing date for sharing your entries would be 29th of March 2024. We keep on saying that your feedback matters a lot, so please write to us through this Google form that is flashing on the screens, or either by scanning the QR code for any queries. You can feel free to reach out to us. Now let us quickly have a look at this detailed banner. So yesterday we discussed about cyber clubs, the concept, need and scope. Today it is going to revolve around activities on technical aspects on cyber safety. Tomorrow, the discussion will be about activities on psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. Then day 4 will be the activities on socio-ethical aspects of cyber safety. The concluding day, 8th of March, the conversation will be about the activities on legal aspects of cyber safety. Now it's the moment to introduce our panelists to all our viewers in this particular discussion where we are going to discuss on the technical aspects on cyber safety. So joining us in the studio we have Mr. Sandeep Arora, Vice Principal from Kendriya Vidyalaya JNU campus. Namaskar sir, a very warm welcome to you. And we also have with us Miss Annie Kumar, Head of Department Computer Science, Vikas Bharati Public School, Delhi. Namaskar ma'am. A very warm welcome to you as well. So viewers, you know the different mediums through which you can all connect with us. So without further ado, let's begin our conversation. Try and understand more about cyber clubs in the first place and why there is an urgent need for the establishment of cyber clubs in our school. So Annie ma'am, would you like to answer that and share the details with our viewers?
Yes, surely. Actually, cyber clubs are very important for our schools and everywhere because what happened after COVID, students were exposed to too much of technical devices and we cannot take away these devices from their life. So what happens, we now see everything, now the whole world is growing. So we need to empower them so that they can make themselves secure while using the devices and learning the things. So we cannot take the devices, so we should try making them, keeping them safe. So prevention is always better than cure. So these cyber clubs are actually going to help them learn, engage with technology in a safe and structured environment.
And ma'am, why there is a urgent need? Because why do we call it as a need of the hour? Because we are all using digital space, and why today particularly we are talking about cyber clubs and their importance and significance?
Yes, Cyber Club, this particular circular has already been laid down by CBSE and Ministry of Education also, that cyber clubs are actually a very important aspect in every school, because now the age who is actually going to use the devices has lowered down. Now, a grade 3 student is also, they are also having the smart devices in their hand. Because of that, now when the devices are in their hands, so they need to use it very efficiently. Now when they are using it very efficiently, we need to think of how they can keep themselves secure, because they are downloading the software, they are using it, they are playing online, and even they are exposed to so much. The whole world is now together with the help of the digital divide. This digital unity is there now because of the digital devices, so everyone is using the devices. So children, when they are having the devices, they should know how to use it in a very important way. So how they have to use it, so what all things they need to download. So you can see, you must have heard about lots of financial crimes and lots of other, like identity theft. Now lots of other problems are also occurring when too much of technology is evolving. So that's why we need to empower everyone in the school, not only when they grow big, but instead we need to have it right from the very young age, so that they are able to use the devices in a very efficient manner.
All right, and having said that, we already have a framed curriculum for all our students. So how these cyber clubs can be incorporated in the curriculum so that it can become more conducive for everyone to follow them?
So what we can do, actually in the schools, we almost every school is having the zero periods, and in the zero period what we can do, we can have club in the format of club throughout the year curriculum. This could be taken up, a whole curriculum has been designed, whole activities has been designed. So what we can do, these through these activities we can talk about the psychological aspect, the technical aspect with the students, and with these activities, these activities could be done in the cyber club, so that they empower, we can empower themselves, they become empowered to use the devices in a very secured manner, and they know what is correct, where to click, what to upload and what not to upload. So these with this club, we need to use it in the format of 0 periods. We can use it. Not only this, we throughout the year you can have activities, and we can have cyber ambassadors in the school. Those ambassadors can help in peer teaching. So these all things can be taken up very beautifully in the school, and with these activities, everyone throughout the school can become empowered.
Of course. So, ma'am, when you have shared the details about cyber clubs or the establishment of cyber clubs in the schools, there's a sense of understanding that we need to know more about the technical aspect that goes behind it. So, sir, would you like to highlight the technical aspects that can be taught or maybe easily understood, especially by the students and the staff, so that these cyber clubs can actually empower one in helping, or we can say, being safe in the digital space?
First of all, I like to add few things to what Annie ma'am has told.
Sure.
The first concept, why only cyber club? Why not a cyber syllabus?
Yes.
Why not something as a part of the syllabus which adds to their, let's say, one more book, and they read that particular book and become cyber safe? The whole idea is with the second word, that is cyber club. We are focusing on something which is interesting to them and is not a part of as a book burden to them. So what will cyber clubs do is they will teach them cyber safety in a very interactive manner, in a playful manner, in a joyful manner. What actually clubs do, they do not teach them, but they make the knowledge in a fun or an interactive manner, so that they learn through various activities, or maybe let's say some dramas, role plays, and they learn those techniques through those club activities. Now, for the technical aspect, what we have planned is that the complete this, I should say, the scenario of cyber safety is divided into, let's say, 3 or 4 different aspects. One is device safety. The other one is one is device. The other one is, let's say, we can go for the browser safety, the browsers that they use. And the third aspect is data safety. So they would be rolling around 3 different things: device, data, and the browser. These are 3 main digital things that they are using to interact with this cyber space. Now, for the device safety, what we can do is whenever they are purchasing some particular device. Now, first of all, let me focus on what devices they are actually using. They are using computers, one. They are using their mobile phones. They are using tablets and various other devices they are using. Now, all these devices, what they do is they send some particular data in the cyberspace, and in return they get a huge amount of data back. Now, in the process, there is a big possibility that the data that which they are receiving or data that they are sending is somehow corrupting their devices or stealing their particular crucial information and misutilizing it. Now, for the device safety purpose, what they can do is whenever they are obtaining, let's say, a mobile phone, they must see that the mobile they have obtained has a proper IMEI number. Fine. After this, what they can do is each time they download a particular software, they must make sure that the software that they have downloaded comes from a very reliable source. It has got a good amount of rating, it comes from a very reputed company, or it is a tested software. Whenever they use the internet or they join the cyberspace, they must make sure that the things that they are obtaining from the internet comes from a reliable source. Now, the last aspect is whenever they are, let's say, disposing of their devices, that disposal must also be done in a very interactive manner, that it should not be just they have thrown away that particular device. It should be disposed through a e-waste management system, and before disposing of, they must make sure that the complete data they have stored in that particular device is either disposed of or is of no utility to either them or cannot be misutilized.
All right. And sir, as we are just discussing that we are all using digital space in one or the other way. For example, if we talk about students, right from their school projects or maybe college assignments at times, and also about the different kind of activities that we are doing, the different kinds of virtual labs that we are providing them, they are making use of internet. And then also we have a lot of things, maybe it's the social media platforms and other kind of activities to engage online. And we cannot deny the fact that somehow technology has touched all our lives, and we actually cannot refrain from that, or we cannot go
Sure,
back.
sure, sure.
So how to ensure that we are becoming more digitally responsible or secure while being online?
Now see, there are two aspects to it. One, the students are using it, and the second particular part is their parents are also utilizing the same network, or the teachers are also utilizing the same network. Now, the things to which the students are exposed should not be exposed at the particular age to which they are being exposed right now. Now, it is the responsibility of the elders, the parents, the teachers, or any other particular elder, that they should keep an eye on the student, what they are actually doing on the cyberspace, whether they are utilizing it or whether they are misutilizing it. Fine. Now, there are some do's and don'ts that we can do while we are on the cyberspace, which can help us to use the particular application or the particular aspect of the cyberspace in a better manner. Some do's are, let's say, we should always keep our softwares updated. Fine. We should always use a strong password. This is a very important thing, that we should always use a very strong password. And one more aspect is that these passwords must not repeat. What generally we do is, if we are using some 10 different apps, for all those apps we keep the same password. Now, if our password gets leaked from one particular app, now all the other 9 apps are also at a risk now, because anybody who knows your one password knows the other 9 also. So the best policy is, we should always go for let's say a strong password. Fine. So there are various other particular things that we can do. Something like, we must not allow students to view a particular or should not get exposed to cyberspace much. There should be a limited time frame when they use it. Maybe let's say 2 hours daily, 3 hours daily. So there are certain do's and don'ts which must be followed before a student is exposed to a cyberspace.
All right. And sir, as you just mentioned about passwords, see, in the online space, passwords are so important, whether we talk about our WhatsApp, we talk about Facebook, or we can say about our emails, or just merely logging into the digital devices. How important passwords are, and at the same time, ma'am, when we log into different areas, emails, different websites, we need to keep different passwords for them. But again, this can happen that a person might not remember this much passwords, and again we are jotting them down somewhere, which seems to be a violation of rules in the digital space, of course, because it is often said that never to write your passwords, just write it in your head. But technically it might not be possible. So what can be done in such a situation? And of course, it's a general question, not only for children, the students watching this, but for each and every individual. What should we do?
So actually what happens, that we end up finally writing all the passwords in a diary or somewhere, and our diary is actually a very important aspect. So what happens, we have a very beautiful activity also in the cyber club, where the students are being asked to write a rhyme, and then this rhyme we can take the first alphabet of the rhyme and then connect them, and few of the characters can be converted into special characters, and few of them can be converted to integers, and like this, with a combination of uppercase, lowercase, special characters and numeric, we can frame a very good password. And these type of passwords, if we are using it, there is no need of writing it anywhere, and instead we, like for example, any song, the lines that you always keep on singing, so those lines can be converted into your password. This is a very good hack, and this activities also can be done in the class so that it becomes very engaging, and experiential learning could also be taken up in the classroom, and art integrated learning. Now students are going to write songs and they are going to convert that song into passwords. So this could be a very beautiful activity in the class, and this could help the students to memorize the password instead of writing it anywhere.
So ma'am, it has been often said and observed that do not write your passwords, and you gave one hint. So we all know, and we have been hearing this since grown-ups, that passwords have to be very strong. Okay, so what exactly is a strong password? Can I use my date of birth, or maybe can I use my mobile number in order to set my password, or maybe my name? What do you suggest? How to create a strong password that no one can hack into?
Anything that is that everyone knows cannot become a password. Now simple, so many people think that password itself word is very important, so password can become a password. So if you see how many times this password word has been used, you will see n number of times, and many people are using this password word also as a password. 1 2 3 4 5 6 8 is again a very common password that is being used by everyone. So we shouldn't use anything that is known by everyone, that is something that everyone can very easily recognize. Your date of birth, your your pet's name, like your spouse name, your children name, so your father's name or mother's name. These type of words cannot become your password. Password should always be a combination of character, special characters, numbers. So if there is a combination on it, shouldn't be very small also, because if the password is very small, it could be very easily diagnosed, and those people who are on the net, the dark web or hackers, they could very easily recognize your password, and it can your accounts can be hacked, and so many important data, personal data could be there could be a problem with that. And so we should always make a password that is not very small. It should be long, and it should be a combination of uppercase, lowercase, special characters, as well as you shouldn't use anything that tells about you.
Alright, so this is one of the ways of securing our data, of course, that is using strong passwords. But so when we look towards data, we have so much data that has been installed on our devices, especially in the digital space, in the cloud. We keep a lot of stuff. We keep photographs, and we keep the contact book and some other private details as well, like the ATM pins or maybe certain other passwords. Financially, that might be related. So how to secure the data, especially when we talk about students? How can they secure the data in the digital space?
Ma'am, one very easy method is to store the data digitally.
Okay.
And we must somehow manage that particular data, that our data is not going to somebody else. I'll give a small example. Let's say I want to store, let's say, some of my passwords. Fine.
Alright.
Now, one easy method is, first of all, I can create the passwords in such a manner that they are easy to remember, as well as nobody else can know them.
Okay.
I'll give one small example for this. Let's say I want to keep the password as my date of birth.
Okay.
Anybody can know my date of birth, but a very easy trick is, let's say I'll keep that is at 24th February 78. Now, what I can do is, I can take the first word 20 as TWENTY. Now, after that, instead of using FOUR, I can take the digit as 4.
Okay,
Fine.
T4.
24, TWENTY.
Okay.
In this 20, I can keep the first two letters capital, then next two letters as small, again two letters as capital, again two letters as small. Some part as digital, some part as let's say capital. And instead of using the regular marks, maybe slash or dash, I can go for @ I can go for hashes. Now, though this password is easy to remember because I am using my own date of birth, but nobody would be able to judge what exact password I have kept. Fine. So the easiest method is that I am keeping my data safe using passwords. Fine. The other thing is, what I can do is, I should know about various other particular things. One is malware. Now, malware is such a software which enters to our system because we want that software to come in. Fine. And after coming to our system, it starts disturbing our system. I'll give a small example. Let's say somebody was interested in video editing. Now, for this video editing, he didn't have any software. And what did he do is he downloaded a particular software from the internet. The software looked quite cool. Once that software came in, that software had some, let's say, Trojan associated with it. Once that software came in, though that software is doing the purpose that it was intended to do, but it is now doing what, stealing our data and sending it, or misutilizing my computers to send fake mails and some other particular task. So the next thing a person must do to keep his data or his system or her system safe is, whenever they upload or download a particular I should say they download a particular software, they should make sure that they are using a reliable site. Now this is very important, how to recognize reliable websites.
Because sometimes what happens is students are also downloading different movies, different films or the songs from so many different websites. Now that reliability, the credibility of the website, it becomes a big question mark for us.
So they somehow must know this particular thing, that what exactly is a reliable website. First of all, that the look of that website will itself tell whether it is a reliable website or not. Generally, fake website what do they do is they make some replica, but that replica does not look exactly or that website has a very shabby look. It looks like it is a copy or let's say a first copy of that particular main thing.
Okay.
Fine. One is this. Second, one must understand that softwares are generally not freely available. They have some license associated with it. Now, whenever they are downloading, they must read that particular license, what that particular license is saying, and simply not keep on clicking next and install that particular software. Instead, what they should do is read that license properly, see what are the various things associated with it, and before granting various permissions, they must definitely see does that permission will somehow hamper his safety. I'll give some examples. There are websites which do not require your microphone.
Okay.
Fine. But still they're asking that you are giving the permission to use the microphone or reading SMSs.
Okay.
Now a simple game site won't require that. So whenever you're downloading, let's say, a particular game, and you see that particular website is asking that allow this particular app to use your microphone, send and receive SMSs. So one must refrain from using those particular software. The best policy is be aware. Whatever you are downloading or sometimes, let's say, uploading, so you must be aware of what you are exactly doing. If you are aware, you are conscious of what you are doing, you will always be safe on the cyberspace.
So, sir, that was something that we discussed in the context of websites. But generally, what happens is, while we are scrolling so much on the social media platforms, and what happens is, what we are scrolling, we tend to see it in our emails as well. So, can we find or identify whether this email is fake or it's a spam, just as we did for the websites?
Ma'am, again, the same thing goes. One must be aware of what exactly a real email look page or web page looks like. Now, if he is aware, whenever he will receive a fake email, the look of that particular email will tell if it is a fake one or a real one. Now, a fake emails generally look like the real ones, but if a person has a little doubt on the integrity of that particular email, he must cross-check the logo or the other particular images used in that, and that will make him sure whether it is a real email or a fake email. The next thing is the address of that email. This is the most important thing, the email address from the, or the sender's address.
Okay.
He or she must check the sender address. Now, make cross-tally it with the actual website of that particular sender, or see on other particular links if it is a genuine email. Emails generally from various companies, they end up with their company names. For example, email from maybe Google will have @Google after it. Okay. Maybe if he is downloading a particular email from some XYZ company, that will end with @xyz.co.in or that .xyz.com. Now, if it is some other particular email, he must definitely cross verify it, and if he is not satisfied with that particular thing, he must not use that particular email. Or if there are certain links which are directing them to other particular web pages or asking their passwords, maybe their usernames or any other confidential information, one must refrain himself or herself from using that particular email or accessing its content.
All right, so that was quite an important information with regard to email safety, or we can say website safety, how you can identify whether it is authentic or not. So of course you have to be very, very aware of this fact. So moving ahead, so ma'am, it's a general tendency, also when we were students, what happened is, so day after tomorrow I'll have to submit my assignment. So one night before, I'll toil hard and I'll prepare all the copies. So what happens is, in this state of hurry, we download almost everything that is available to us. Now what to do when students actually feel that sort of hurry? Now I have to submit my assignment, I have to do this work, I have that work. So it is all piled up, and now I do not see that vision for the time being of cyber safety. But in the long run, what can go wrong, you never know. So please reflect on this.
So according to me, see, practice of hygiene is not a single day job. So that's why here the need comes for the cyber club. If something is in our blood, then we cannot change that. So what we can do, we can simply throughout the tenure, when suppose if we are having this cyber club in our school, these activities could be taken up in the classroom, where the children could be asked, they could be given deadlines and they could be asked to do the project. So they could be given free handed, okay, bring the project, download, whatever you can do. Now after doing this, we could explain them what are the repercussions, what are the problems that they would be facing, because plagiarism is something that is very important and they need to understand, because when they grow big, when they are going into research or somewhere, there whatever they have done, even though they have downloaded, made the copies and modified it, still they could fall prey of plagiarism. So now this is a problem. So that's why we this cyber club should be taken up in the classroom, so that even though many a time the students feel that they have downloaded and they have copy pasted and given the content, submitted the things to the teacher, so it is very easy and they felt like they have done their job, but it can be taken up like a discussion in the cyber club activity, and everyone could become aware that what is the problem that they are going to do, because stealing someone's innovation, stealing someone's else idea, these all comes under IPR and they could face lots of problem because of that.
So in fact, these IPR, everything our student actually needs to know, because when you are copying or you are plagiarizing someone else's, right, then it comes under the Copyright Act. And that actually happens because whenever an assignment is provided to a child, so ma'am, because we all know that whenever you give an assignment to the child, actually there are so many different information websites, we are bombarded with information from everywhere. So you know the child can actually copy, but what is the major objective behind those assignments that are being given to the children?
Okay, yes. Like as a teacher, we also give lots of assignments to the students and we know that they are going to copy it. But they should know from where to copy and where not to copy, because there are some of the OER materials, open education resources also available online from where they could copy, because it is already available on websites for copying, like CC licenses are there. So these open softwares, open education resources, whatever is available online for copying, for taking reference, they should know that what all things. So every software has an open end also, like for example, if you're not willing to use Windows, you can go for Ubuntu, that is an open software. Similarly, if you don't wish to use Microsoft Office, you can very well go to LibreOffice. So every software has got an open counterpart, and if a student is not willing to pay for the licenses, they could very well move to the open resources. And this is the thing that cyber club is going to teach to the students, and they can practice it, they can use those software, they can understand and what are the counterparts, they could use it, so that they don't fall into prey of these all problems.
All right, thank you so much for that important piece of information. I'm pretty sure that our viewers are actually going to take care of that and a note of that for all our students as well. So ma'am, coming back to cyber clubs, what kind of activities can be undertaken or incorporated into these cyber clubs so we can become or we can empower the citizens, especially children and the students, to be more digitally safe and secure?
So we have done different types of activities like I'll show you here. Um, um, first thing is that how we need to plan for the activities. Now first of all we need to target what is the basics and what is the learning outcomes, what we wanted to actually teach, and these all activities may or may not need internet, because most of the activities that we had planned here there is no requirement. Many of them activities don't require internet also, so it can be very well played. This is a very beautiful activity. Here what we have to do in this activity, it is like a very interesting one also. And it can be taken in the cyber club, and in this activity the whole classroom could be divided into three parts. One part could be called as a sender one, the second one could be a receiver one, and the third one could be a hacker team. Now the sender is going to make messages. He or she is going to create the message. The children are going to create messages, and these messages are going to be pasted on the or written on aeroplane. Now paper aeroplanes. This is again an art integrated activity where children are going to be given colored pages, and they could make the paper planes of those pages, and on those pages they are going to encrypt their message, means they are going to use the encryption code according to their imagination, and they are going to write their message and then throw it to the receiver. And these hackers are some students who are willing to hack the messages when they are on the way to the receiver. So these children, those who are in the hacker, and they could very well move around in the classroom, and they could pick the aeroplanes and they could hack the message. Now they could interpret what is it written. If they are able to interpret it, that means that encoding encryption was not done properly, and they need to further work on it. And this way they could even understand that how, when the message is being transferred from one place to another, how from in between their messages could be taken away from someone. So this activity is around 40 minutes. It can be there in the classroom, and it will be a sure enjoyment, and student can very well understand, because it is not only art integrated, but also they could very well understand that how the data gets transferred from one place to another throughout the world.
Of course,
So
ma'am.
sir can also put a
Share an
highlight on this activity.
And basically what we are planning at the cyber clubs is that the club activity must not be a burden either to a teacher nor to the student. These activities are planned in such a manner that they are interesting for the students, and student must take them as fun activities, and in that particular process they learn a good amount of things. Now we'll repeat that particular activity only. Now let's say if I want to teach them that they must send their message to the other fellow in a secured manner. For this, there is some encryption techniques being used, and is first level encryption, second level encryption, public key. All these are very technical terms. If I am going to teach those technical terms to a student through some let's say a simple lecture, talk and chalk method, or maybe some PowerPoint presentation, that would become very boring to them. Now, and another way is, let's plan a particular fun activity out of it. What are the students doing? They are making simple paper planes. They are writing some coded message onto them. Now this is teaching them two things: one, art, as well as encoding their messages. Now they throw this particular paper plane to the other half of the class. Now this in itself is very fun, throwing paper planes. Now when this paper planes move from one place to other, there is one particular team who is trying to catch it. Fine, they are either able to catch it or not able to catch it. If they are able to catch it, they see a particular message. Now in that particular message, they see what is written. That message is encrypted. They try to decode that particular message in without a particular key. And finally, at the end of the activity, a particular count is taken. How much messages were decoded and how much could not be decoded. Now they knew various particular terms. They now knew what encryption is because they did encryption and both decryption. They knew how messages are being traveled. They are traveling from one point to other, and there is a possibility that somebody could hack your particular message. So this particular fun activity is teaching them various particular terms. After at the end of this particular activity, the teacher would give them a very small description, let's say in 5 minutes, 7 minutes, what actually they have learned and some particular technical terms. Now, this is what we are planning in the Cyber Club, certain activities which are not a burden to anyone, but a complete fun for everyone.
Fun, and at the same time I think it brings inclusivity to everyone. So ma'am, while talking about these activities, how we can ensure that the cyber clubs are more of an inclusive environment for each and every child regardless of their technological expertise?
So for inclusivity, what has been done, there can be lots of activities being designed for every type of children. We can go for universal design of learning. A few of the activities could be based on written, few of the activities could be visual, few of the activities could be audible. So here, if we are going to use all the sense organs for doing different types of activities, and every student is going to do one or the other activity, then we can think of we are going to cater to the needs of all the students in the class, because nowadays it is lots of been talk has been done on the universal design of learning. So we have planned the activities in such a manner that every student in the class is going to participate, and the student who is having the problem, who is not having the problem, they are not divided. There is no division in the class. Instead, every children is going to taken care of, and the activity is designed in such a manner that you can all the students can participate. Like for example, the child who is not able to write can very well make the planes. Inside the group, they are also going to do the motor activities. Now, making the plane is not so easy. You need to fold the paper. You need to make it in a particular shape. So their geometry things is also applied. So this activity is not only catering to the need of one subject. Instead, it is catering to the needs of different subjects. That means it is not only art integrated, but here we are having multiple subjects or multidisciplinary approach is also going to be taken care of, and even the students move around from one place to another, so they know how to move around the class, so that they don't make noise in the class, as well as they are doing the activity, they are understanding it, and not only this, they are helping each other to decode also. Now, teamwork, this all the 21st century skills are also going to be imparted with this small activity.
All right. And sir, in the digital space, there is one thing that we often see. There is a constant race for likes, for comments, and to gain more and more traction, attention, popularity, especially among adolescents.
Sure.
So, well, this is something that exists in this generation, and we cannot deny this fact. We cannot overlook upon it. So, sometimes for that particular area, we used to search a lot on Google, and then we click on several links, the unknown links and the messages, maybe buying followers or something like that. Now, what is the important role of parents and teachers in telling a child that this is not the right thing to do? How do you say it?
Sure. Ma'am, this is what we are focusing in our cyber clubs. These cyber clubs are intended with one particular aim, that student must know what is right and what is wrong.
Yes.
Now, I'll give a small example. We were talking about copy paste. Fine. Whenever an assignment is given, the easiest method is go to Google, search for your topic, you will get a good amount of content, simply copy it, paste it into Microsoft Word, take a printout, the assignment is done. Now, copy paste is not a bad thing. We somehow need to take references from places, only then we can make our own things.
Of course.
Now, the main aim is to tell them that copy paste is not a bad thing. But whenever you are taking some references from some particular point, you need to give proper credits. You need, first of all, you need to make references of those things, plan some bibliographies where you mention those particular websites that I have taken this particular content from this particular website, or this particular word or definition from this particular book. I have copied this material from this particular place. Now, if those references or bibliographies are there, you are giving a proper credit to the person who has actually created that content, and then you can later use it.
Yes.
Though there are free materials also available, now a student must understand what is free and what is a copyrighted material. So these are the things we will teach them through the cyber clubs.
Okay.
Fine. Now each one of us wants that we somehow do a very little work, and our content must have some legs of let's say thumbs up in few hours only. Now they must understand this is practically not possible. It could happen once, it could happen, let's say, for one person, for two persons, but whenever we are working on the internet, we must refrain ourselves from doing the things which are only for the publicity purpose.
Yes.
We are in a place where we should somehow keep our things secret. Just for the sake of likes, we must not reveal our public life to anybody. We must keep that. If I want to share a particular photograph, we must make sure that that particular photograph cannot be somehow be misused. I must not place photographs which are with my front face, because that can be used as a passport photograph. In this particular photograph can be used as a bank document or some other particular purposes also. So I must make sure that the data which I am or anybody is sharing on the internet must not be misutilized. This can happen only if we are vigilant enough. We should keep on seeing or keep a track who visited our website, what were their particular comments, is there somebody who I don't know but is following me, giving me constant likes, or giving particular comments, trying to decode my information. So these are the few things which a particular person must see whenever he or she is using the cyberspace.
And ma'am, when we are talking about the establishment of cyber clubs, what are the focused learning outcomes that we are looking forward to? What kind of positive changes we would like to draw or see in the children?
See, cyber clubs are not going to take away the devices from the students. Instead, they are going to help them understand that what is correct, what is not, where to click, what to upload, what not to upload. And when you are taking the things from online, how to give credits, how to use it, what all things you can take, what all things you shouldn't take, and if you are taking, you should give credits, how to abide by the rules of the internet, because there are net etiquettes that you need to follow. Because nowadays what is happening now, so much of things are available, so much of content is available online, so it becomes very difficult for everyone to check, and parents should also be very vigilant that when they are there should be firewall always installed. So these all things should be taken care at home. Schools are taking care of this, but everyone should take care, and because of this we have got done lots of activities have been already planned. So these activities could be taken, and in the cyber club along with the teachers, and even the parents could become a part of the activity. And so that what could happen that throughout the world, we when there is a revolution, you have to move according to the revolution. So we should know how to behave in this cyber world.
And ma'am, with regard to the establishment of cyber clubs, of course, the responsibility, I believe, they lies on the authorities of the school, especially the academic staff, talking about the teachers. So what kind of technical expertise, or I should say the technical knowledge, a teacher should have in order to provide that kind of environment in a club or a cyber club where a child can be safe?
See, in the cyber club, first of all, the activities, whatever we have planned is not going to have so much of technical things. Means it is a classroom type of activity. For that, internet is not, because we know that there are so many schools, and every school is not going to have lots of devices that they could devote for these club activities. And everything is, there are few things that they need to understand, because it is like the behavior that is changing due to the the usage of technical devices. So devices is not only laptops or desktops, it is the mobiles that they are using throughout the day. So what could be done when they are going to use these devices? We can have bring your device day in the school, where a teacher can train them that how they can keep the locks and how they can go for two-step verification in their mobiles, and also the how they can go for the browser settings. Once the teacher is going to train the students that how to put the browser settings in their devices, and surely the kids are going to take it forward to the at their home, and they are going to put it in everyone's devices at their home. So if the teacher is going to do it in the club activity, so they can tell that, see, if this particular, like there are I have seen in the browsers, we give permission, we tend to give permission of our camera and mic when we are downloading and we are opening few of the websites, and because of that, whatever we are talking, whatever, if your webcam is there on your laptops or your computers, so what happens, this everything at your, from nothing is private nowadays. We don't have, no privacy is there. We talk about privacy, but there is no privacy because of this. So we should know how to maintain our privacy. So if these type of activities are going to be taken up in the classroom, students are going to learn, and they could understand when they grow big, they know how to behave themselves and how they can take it in the classrooms, in their home, in their with their friends, and not only this, they can train their younger ones also.
Of
When
course.
they
So,
grow big.
you have answered so many questions. You have shared the different kind of activities with us, and as we are running short of time, so we have a last question for you.
Sure.
When we talk about the establishment of cyber clubs, here we have discussed about the roles, responsibilities, the duties of parents and teachers. But what will be the role of students? Will they learn leadership qualities? Especially, will they be able to help in shaping these activities that are particularly meant for them?
Ma'am, throughout the sessions, we have been focusing on this only, that these cyber clubs are intended for interactive activities. Whatever the students do, they plan those activities with their teachers, and the main role is not in the hand of teachers, it is in the hand of students. It is a child-centered activity. Fine. Now, for example, let's say there was a plane activity which we are talking about.
Yes.
Now, in that particular activity, there would be leaders from the class itself who would be leading that particular activity. They would be guiding the student what kind of planes we are making, how to particular write a decoded message. For that hiker team, there would be somebody who would be guiding them how can we decode them. Their brains would be working. So these are not intending only on one particular direction, but it is a multi-result oriented thing. They are going to learn leadership skills. They are going to learn, let's say, certain art integrated skills. There would be various technical terms that they would be learning. They would be helping their teachers, so that would be a social activity also. They could plan, let's say, some plays which they can perform, something like Nukkad Nataks and other particular things. So these clubs will not only help the students learn the technical aspects of cyber safety, but will act as a complete overall improvement in the personalities.
Of course, of course. And ma'am, very quickly, would you like to add to that?
Yes. What else could be done in the cyber clubs? We can call the people from industries who can take it up, and we can also, like in the format of club structure, like elect student leaders, set meeting schedules, and even define the club objectives. Even we can have resources, resource persons called from the industry, and even provide training. People from we can offer workshops and tutorials and mentorship. These all things could be taken up in the club, and also the activities has already been designed. So those activities could be taken up in a very beautiful manner in the classroom, and with the students, it would come out wonders, and they could do wonders in their life. And when they grow big, surely everything would be, they would know how to use these devices very efficiently.
Of course, very rightly pointed out. When we are able to use, of course, in this age of technology, when you are able to use technology as a sword, as a weapon for ourselves, not necessarily in the negative sense, but of course in a positive sense, when you know how to make the the judicious use of it, then I think we'll be able to come out with the best outcomes possible.
Sure,
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Thank you so much, Sandeep sir and Annie ma'am, for being a part of this conversation.
Thank you,
And
ma'am.
from your expertise, you have shared so many details with us. Thank you so much for making it so informative. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you to all the viewers who have connected with CIET and CRE for this particular live interactive program. This was the second day of our online training program on cyber clubs, where we were discussing about the different technical aspects that are associated with cyber safety, especially cyber clubs. So this is a wrap up for the second day, but tomorrow we are going to discuss about the psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety, because there are so many different domains of cyber safety. We need to address each and every area in order to reach out to the best possible outcomes, in order to get the best out of our students, and in order to make everyone more aware and digitally empowered. Thank you once again to all the viewers for connecting with us, and of course let me apprise you that you have to watch these training programs very carefully, because the questions of the post session activity and the quiz, they will be formed out of the discussions that we are conducting on these 5 days for all of you. This is a wrap up for the second day, but tomorrow again we will be right back at the same time discussing more on the activities regarding the psychological and physical aspects of cyber safety. Thank you once again, and do not go anywhere, because next up we have our important session of Sahyog, where we try to provide guidance for mental well-being and psychosocial support to all the students, the learners who have connected with us, and of course keeps on connecting with us for the diverse programs throughout the day. Thank you once again. Tomorrow from 4 till 5 p.m. we will be right here back with the third day of the training program on cyber clubs. So do not forget to watch it. So take very good care of yourself, both in the physical world and in the online world. And we'll meet again. Till then, take good care of yourself and goodbye. Namaskar.